Joe.
Okay, good morning everybody and welcome to our first cabinet meeting that has been held virtually today. So let's hope that things go well. Not many items on the agenda today, so it should be pretty smooth. Can I ask members and officers who are at today's meeting to leave your microphones on mute during the meeting? If you would like to comment on any item, then just unmute your mic and say your name, and then a live feed will transfer to you after a few seconds, and then you can make comments on that particular item. Okay, in advance of the meeting, I think everybody, all the participants today have been sent an electronic copy of the agenda and all the reports associated with the agenda for today's meeting. So okay.
Thank you, Chair. Do you want to continue?
Yeah, if everybody's indicated that. So at this stage, then I'm going to ask the committee secretaries to check, and he has, so that's fine. So we'll just move on then to item number 1 on the agenda, which is declarations of interest. Are there any declarations of interest? Okay, so Mike, I think you've accepted no declarations of interest declared anyway. Yeah?
That's correct. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, so if we move on then to item number 2, which are mayoral reports, and there are none to be considered today, no mayoral reports to be considered today. So we move on then to item 3, and there are 2 mayoral recommendations. There is 1 public recommendation to consider today, and that is 3A, street lighting, and it's the LED implementation and energy. And it's this program update really on what we've done before. It's pages 1 to 6 on your agenda. Basically, it is a recommendation asking us to vary a decision that we made in March. And this is to amend the value of a proposed interest-free loan. This amount from Salix Finance Limited from 7.9 million to 9 million. This will now cover the full value of the capital element of the investment approved. I think it actually saves us money, so I think it's good news. Shannon, any comments from you?
No, Chair, only just to say that it's welcome, because as you've mentioned, it will cover the full capital investment and enable us to carry on and continue to roll out our LED and energy saving programme.
Okay, so are there any other questions from any of the cabinet members? Okay, so I think we have got no questions. So can we ask then that the recommendations set out in the report are agreed, please?
Thank you, Joe. In terms of the voting, obviously, I'm going to go from each cabinet member in turn and ask you to come on screen, and then we'll confirm your voting intention. So first of all, we will take Councillor Brandt.
Yes, that's agreed.
Thank you, Paul. Councillor Connor.
Agreed.
Thank you. Councillor Miller.
Agreed.
Councillor Hinnigan.
Agreed.
Just confirm again while you're on screen. Thank you.
Agreed.
Councillor Kushner. Could you just unmute your mic, please?
Agreed.
Thank you. Councillor Murray.
Agreed.
Thank you. Councillor Parsons.
That's agreed.
Councillor Robertson Collins.
Yes, agreed. Thanks.
Thank you. Councillor Simon.
Agreed.
Thank you. Councillor Thomas.
Agreed.
Thank you. And you, Joe?
Yeah, agreed.
Thank you. That concludes the vote.
Okay, thanks. Thank you for that, Mike. Okay, so we now move on to the remaining report, which is partially exempt. So if any member of Cabinet has a question on any of the exempt appendices, then can you please unmute your microphone and clearly state your name before asking a question. If the question means that we need to talk about and disclose exempt information, then I'll move that we exclude press and public and we end live stream of the meeting whilst we take such questions. Is that clear? Okay, so we now move on then to the item itself, which is 3A. And it's the Strategic Housing Delivery Partnership. It's a subsidy payment for Leighton Dean and Warwick Street. I said it's on the agenda pages 7 to 77. So the recommendation provides an update on two completed developments. That's Leighton Dean and Warwick Street. These are under our Strategic Housing Delivery Partnership. And our approval is sought to make a final subsidy payments relating to these sites from the SHDP account. So, Linny, I don't know whether you want to make any comments or say any words before we proceed.
Thanks, Chair. Yeah, just to say I welcome the report, and moving forward to fulfil our ambition on housing, partnerships like this will be fantastic.
Okay, I mean, are there any other comments from any cabinet members, please?
Joe, I just wanted to say, because Leighton Dean's in Sparrow Hall in Norris Green, and Joe mentioned that the Labour administration's been celebrated its 10th anniversary yesterday, but Sparrow Hall has been one of a key estate that's benefited from our administration. Those 34 houses are on top of 200 other houses built on the old Queen Mary site, new shops built on the estate, and a complete regeneration of the Geoffrey Humble sports field that has helped transform what was an estate that had been completely neglected for many years, and this is one of the developments that's helped to bring Sparrow Hall back.
Okay, well, thank you for those comments, Barry, and I think it's absolutely right to point out what we've done in relation to the transformation, not just of Norris Green, but the way we've transformed many areas of the city, working in partnership and with our strategic housing partnership to deliver, the transformation of many parts of the city. That's including Anfield and Anfield Village, of course, Norris Green, developments right across the city. So It's a great partnership. It's a great partnership. So let's just keep it going and continue with that. Okay. We note Barry's comments. So if anybody else has got any comments, can you please unmute your mic and say your name? If not, we'll move on. Okay, so if we move then to the recommendation in the report, and can we please vote on accepting the recommendation as set out in the report? Is that agreed?
Thanks, Joe. Same procedure as last time. We'll go from cabinet member to cabinet member. So taking Councillor Brandt first.
Agreed.
Thank you, Paul. Councillor Connor.
Agreed.
Just confirm while you're on the screen again. Just a delay there. Thank you. Councillor Miller.
Agreed. Thank you.
Councillor Hinnigan.
Agreed.
Thank you. Councillor Kushner.
Agreed.
Thank you. Councillor Murray. Councillor Murray. Thank you. Councillor Parsons.
Agreed.
Thank you. Councillor Robertson Collins.
Agreed.
Councillor Simon.
Agreed.
Thank you. Councillor Thomas.
Yes, agreed.
Thank you, Pam. Now I return to you, Joe. That concludes
Agreed.
the vote. Thank you. That concludes the vote on the item.
Okay, so thank you everyone for that, and other than some comments from me concludes the meeting. Obviously, the process in terms of organising and arranging the cabinet meetings is a difficult process, using technology with so many people linked in. So I want to thank Mike and Chris and Niall and all the team who've put together today's meeting. Thank you for that. Thank you everybody for your patience and bearing with the technology. As I say, strange times. It means that we've got to use this type of facility, this type of technology for the foreseeable future. But of course, we know the impact on COVID across the whole city and how people are having to make sacrifices and changes into how they are running their lives. So it's no, no sort of problem for us to do some of this type of thing, because